Hey guys, Gary J here. I just want to show you one thing here on the gold wing. On your handlebars, you have a nut right here that fastens your handlebars down, right? And they usually have a chrome cap over the top of that. The chrome cap looks something like that, but it's chrome, and on the other side's the same way. But anyway, the chrome cap on this handlebar here that covers this bolt, it became really rusty. So I took it off. It looked better without it because it was so rusty looking. So then I decided, well, what can I do with that cap? It's rusty. It'd probably be hard to find a brand new cap for that. Somebody else may have a solution for that. So anyway, I'll show you what I did with the rusty cap. And I mean they're rusty because every time you turn the handlebars, sometimes this plastic here will catch that, and they just rust. So I think I found a solution to that, and I'll show you what that is. The cap that was there over the bolt that holds the handlebars on. You see how rusty that is right there? The whole bottom end of it was really rusty. So I sanded that down, the bottom of it. I started out just using, I put it on the ground and sanded it on the sand on the ground. That's the poor man's sandpaper. Then I took a Dremel tool and polished it up a little bit. Man, I didn't try to get it smooth or anything, but it got all the rust off the bottom of it here, underneath it. And then I thought, well, what can I do with that? So I decided, well, why don't you take a quarter and put a quarter on the underneath here, right? And so I got some JB Weld. And JB Weld is what they call liquid metal. I'll show you a picture of that. Okay, this is JB Weld. Hold on one second. Okay, I've got a radio set on the train frequency, a little bit loud. But this is JB Weld. And the neat thing about this stuff is it's a kind of a metal, a liquid metal that works like an epoxy. And there are different types of JB Weld. Now on this one, I like it for what I'm doing here because it says it sets in 6 minutes. Otherwise it sets in 30 minutes or an hour. So you don't have to wait too long for it to set. That doesn't mean you can use it after it sets, but at least whatever you're using it for is pretty much put together at that time. You got to let it cure probably for 24 hours. But an equal part of each one of these, you mix it up until they're the same. It's all the same color. Like it'll be a gray color. You want it to be exactly gray. You don't want a marble color. This is white. This is black. So you want it all be like a total gray. Otherwise, it's not going to work very well. So anyway, this costs about $6. Well, I'll say $7 for the JB Weld. But you can use it on a lot of stuff. It works well on just a lot of different things. So I put JB Weld on the bottom of these, after polishing them up real well and getting the rust off of them, and took a quarter, and well, you can see the JB Weld here, the black stuff here, and put a quarter on that and just pushed a quarter down, and you can see that a little better, the glare. And I did this one too. After doing that, I thought, well, you could have used a quarter that wasn't already faded a little bit. So I took my Dremel tool with a compound. Most Dremel tools have compounds with them, and a little buffer wheel for the Dremel tool. I just polished this one out and made it look like new compared to this one. You see it's kind of faded a little bit. So this is what we're going to use now for those covers, and you might be able to do a better job than I did, but that doesn't look too bad for those, just touching those up. And I thought the eagle looked a lot better than George's face here, but that don't look too bad either. Or you could use a different type of coin. But the JB Weld, once you put this stuff on, it's there. Okay, it's not going to come off. I remember some people take a little bit of JB Weld and put it in the center of a quarter, and not much, but just a little bit here, and they stick it to a Zippo lighter. You know what a Zippo lighter is? I've got one of those. I don't smoke or anything, but my father had one, and a Zippo cigarette lighter is what it is, but it's made out of metal, and they stick a quarter to the Zippo lighter, which actually made it look a little bit nicer. So anyway, JB Weld is very useful. Household repairs, automotive, plumbing, marine, craft, and more. A lot of uses for this stuff. And strength is 2,424 psi, sets in 6 minutes, cure time 4 to 6 hours, dark gray. And talking about dark gray, that's what I'm talking about. You want the same color right here. When you mix it up, it should be all the same color. Get that in focus. If it's not the same color, if it's marble, like white streaks on it, running in it, you don't have it mixed up enough. Okay? But I think that'll look better. We'll look at that and see. But this is just a little tidbit what you can do on some of these things on your bike. Okay, this is our bolt right here, and we're going to place this over that. Try to line that up. So it looks about halfway in line there. Okay, I heard one end pop in here. I have to pull this up with my hand here to pop this other end in. Okay, we got that popped in. Now, notice with this plastic, you're going to have to pull this up to get the edge of it in here. Okay. So, that doesn't look too bad for cover. You know, it's only 25 cents you're using here over that rusted piece right there. Again, I polished the top of that out. It's kind of like this right here. I polished that out. Not like smooth polish, but enough, you know, so it's a little bit rough, so the JB Weld will adhere to it. And so you won't have any problem popping those in, because the JB Weld does not go underneath. The JB Weld does not go underneath it. It's all on top of it. And we'll do this other side here too. But here you can see where that plastic is going to catch part of the quarter or this cap, and we'll just have to lift up on that. Okay guys, this is what we got. Okay guys, we've popped those two caps on with the quarters mounted with JB Weld, and that looks a lot better than the ones that were rusted, I think. And that one looks pretty good. Plus, we have our Eagle wings here. Well, we have the Honda wings, which I don't know if they got that from the Eagle or what, but that kind of matches with the wings there a little bit, I think, with the Honda. right here, and then the wings here. So 25 cents for a piece for the 2 quarters, and about $7 with JB Weld. But there's a lot of things you can use JB Weld on, so that's not a bad deal. And hope that helps. If you have that problem, or if you just want to touch your bike up, you can do that. Even if your caps are really decent, you can put a coin or a special coin or a lucky coin on it, or anything like that would be cool. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Gary J.